I'm Kevin Mims with the Invading Sea, a Florida-wide media collaborative that reports on climate change in the state. As part of that effort, we've started The Business of Climate Change, a weekly interview with businessmen and women whose companies are either affected by the warming climate or address climate challenges. Today's conversation is with Steve Sowders, sales manager with Westfall Roofing. Steve, thanks for talking with us today.
Yeah, my pleasure, Kevin. Thanks for having me.
So, Steve, Westfall Roofing is based in Tampa. How have climate change and changes in weather patterns affected the business for better or for worse?
Um, it's affected us dramatically. For better. Obviously, as a homeowner and a resident here, the climate change and the weather specifically is scary, right? Us being in the roofing industry, that does help out our business, right? When we get the storms that we're having and the weather that occurs here, I mean, people need new roofs, right? And you can tell over the last, maybe decade or so, storms have become more and more frequent, but also just more and more intense, right? We're talking today on July 2nd, and there's a threat of a storm coming in a couple of days, right? And then, usually we don't get those until maybe later in the year, September, October, but I mean, we're getting them earlier and earlier here in the storm season the last couple of years.
Steve, what role do roofing companies play in making homes greener and more resilient?
A lot of people don't think about, roofing and energy efficiency, right? You think about solar, think about windows, you think about attic insulation. And, primarily roofs are asphalt shingled base, right? So asphalt isn't necessarily an energy efficient product, but here at Westfall, we install a lot of metal roofing. And metal roofing can be extremely, energy efficient. The total solar reflectivity of the panels. Colors have different variances, but they're all Energy Star rated. And then a lot of times when we install a metal roof, we'll install a radiant barrier with it, which also helps with the reflectivity and helping that homeowner save money on their electric bills.
Steve, Westfall Roofing partners with the Solar and Energy Loan Fund, a nonprofit green bank that provides financing for sustainable home improvements to low and middle income residents. Can you talk a little bit about that relationship?
Yeah, I mean, self for short, we do a lot of work with them and Annie and Monica and Rob and a lot of the loan officers there. They're crucial in helping a lot of our customers, get approved for roofing that for a new roof that they ordinarily would not be able to afford, right? And it's just gratifying because those are, the most grateful customers because whether it's a roof that's aged, whether it's their insurance company forcing them to replace their roof, whatever the case is, they need a roof. They don't have 12, 15, $20,000 sitting around, and they have nowhere else to go, and self is able to provide options for them that not a lot of people are able to do.
Steve, do you think people are being forced more by insurance, or are they just trying to take this on their own and are just trying to be proactive?
A lot of those folks are being forced into it by Mother Nature, right? I don't think any homeowner wants to wait until the last minute to do their roof, right? But some people don't have a choice, right? Maybe that roof should have been replaced in actuality 4 or 5 years ago, but they just didn't have the money. So now they're at the point where, the roof has multiple leaks, and they have no choice but to now start getting estimates and seeing what options they have.
Steve, from your point of view, how well is the increasing demand for financing these improvements being met?
It's a great question. There's not a lot of options like self out there. I'll tell you that. There's a lot of financing companies in the home improvement industry, but they all have pretty, similar restrictions and guidelines where self, they provide and they're able to give options to homeowners where they're getting declined everywhere else, right? So yeah, to answer your question, there's a lot of financing options out there, but there's just not a lot of options that self off that like self.
Got it. So, Steve, if a low income homeowner needs help covering the cost of a new roof or other improvement, what should their first step be?
I mean, your first step is, I mean, you can't go down the financing route until you know what the roof's going to cost, right? And at the end of the day, you have to pick a contractor you trust to do the work on your home. Obviously, money plays a part, but you want to make sure you pick the right company or contractor to do the work also. So it just comes down to getting an estimate first. Estimates are free, so whether you're looking for financing or not, get that free estimate so you have a starting point. You can choose that contractor that you like and you trust. And then, once you find the contractor, then it's like, all right, how are we going to, pay for the roof?
Steve, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
No problem, Kevin. Thank you.